What's going on, everybody? I'm Tank, and this is another episode of Roadie Reactions.
Get with this.
Recently on the channel, I finally checked out 82nd All the Way by Sabaton. And I bet a lot of you that follow this channel saw this coming, but today, I'm finally going to check out Amaranthe's cover of it. And this is super wild because 82nd All the Way was actually the most recommended Amaranthe song that I've gotten from you guys in the comments, and it's not even their song, it's a cover. In fact, when I first started seeing 82nd All the Way being commented on the channel, I thought this was an Amaranthe song. That's how requested this was. And a lot of you have actually said you like this version better than Sabaton's. We'll find out, man. But I'm really interested because for me on this channel, Amaranthe has been kind of hit or miss. I haven't hated it, but there's been a song that I heard that I was kind of like, nah, it's okay. And then another song that I really liked. But given their style and knowing what 82nd All the Way sounds like from Sabaton, I can already envision this being pretty damn cool, and I'm actually excited to check this out. I'm also excited because I saw there is a live version of Sabaton performing 82nd All the Way with Amaranthe from the Great Tour, and we're going to check that out right after we check out Amaranthe doing it in the studio. So I will link this video in the description below, and today I'm going to be listening to Amaranthe, and for the very first time, hearing their cover of Sabaton's 82nd All the Way. Let's go!
Ready? Aim. Okay, York. You're on your own.
In the draft of 1917, a man from Tennessee overseas to the trenches he went, from the land of the free.
Into war he brought two things along, a rifle and his faith. Joined the ranks as a private assigned to 338.
On the day Alvin York entered the fray, saving the day, 82nd all the way.
Into the fires of hell they are gonna hear unto thee. Enter the war from over the sea. Into beat 1918 all the way from Tennessee. Into 123.
First initial thoughts. Musically, I think it whoops ass, if you couldn't tell. I think it sounds great. The tones are great. I like the electronics in with it. That chorus was massive, but I'm not really enjoying the verses. I think saying I'm not enjoying it is a little harsh. And it would be weird if this was a song that I heard this for the first time, because I'm comparing it to the version I've already heard from Sabaton. And for me, I think I'm enjoying the original way that the verses were laid out. There's something missing for me that I get from Joachim's voice that I'm not getting from this. And that's just my personal opinion, man. I didn't really like the growls in there instead of just the clean vocals. But the chorus is massive. Like, it's pretty awesome. Let's continue.
When his faith had been put to the test, the call to arms he heeds. On the end of October he went, made a sergeant for his deeds.
Devastating the weight of the war, machine guns on the hill. Such the enemy taking the prisoners, the power of his will. There, on that day, Sergeant York entered the fray, saving the day. 82nd all the way.
Into the fires of hell they are gonna hear unto thee.
Yeah, huge chorus.
Over the sea, into beat 1918 all the way from Tennessee. Into 123.
real quick before we get into this bridge and this solo part and stuff, there's a lot of cool gear going on because they're in the studio. And obviously they're not using everything that you're seeing because it is a studio and they have tons of different options. The other interesting thing with when bands go into the studio, they're not necessarily using the endorsed gear that they would normally use on a tour that's seen by everybody. They're gonna use the amps and the guitars and the instruments that sound the best for a recording, regardless of what they endorse. So we see a lot of, I mean, earlier and even now, I see a couple Ingles sitting in there. Ingle is a great German amplification company. I think one of the amps I saw was, I want to say it was a Fireball instead of a Powerball, but I'm not 100% sure because I'm not super familiar with Ingle. But I'm pretty sure that the other Ingle I saw is a Ritchie Blackmore signature. And Ritchie Blackmore is my dad's favorite guitarist of all times. And I grew up listening to a lot of Deep Purple, a lot of Blackmore's Night, stuff like that. I also saw a EVH 5153. The EVH line is Eddie Van Halen's line that he worked with Fender to inspire. Fender owns it now and they distribute everything. There's a lot of other gear. Let's listen to this bridge. We'll break down some more gear one last time and then, yeah, we'll finish it off. Before this last chorus, I thought it was very interesting through that entire solo part, they didn't show Olaf playing at all. They just have some pictures of him just sitting at the console with a guitar and playing some other stuff. I'm really surprised they didn't get him to get shots of him doing that solo. That's real weird to me. But man, I'm trying to piece this all together to figure out what I want to talk about too. I thought he was playing a comparison at first. The headstock design is very similar, but I realized it's actually a Jackson and it looks like it's a fully custom. If I had to guess, I'd say the body style was based on a Dinky, but the Dinky, the Soloist, and the San Dimas from Jackson look very similar. But Jacksons and Comparisons do kind of look similar at times because Comparison was started by a design team from Jackson and another design team from Charvel. So very similar influences. Drum-wise, he's using a Yamaha kit in the studio, and I notice it's all Zildjian cymbals, and I see a mix between the A Customs and the Ks. And the A Customs from Zildjian are thinner and brighter, but it also leads them to crack more when they're being used live. So a lot of drummers don't actually use them when they're touring live. Some do. I've worked for drummers that do. But more often than not, you see the Ks because the Ks are darker, they're thicker, they're more durable on the road. That's probably it for studio gear, so let's just hear this last chorus. Before we get into the live performance, I really don't know how I feel about that. There was parts that, like, I'll tell you right now, Sabaton's version is better to my ear. I enjoy it more. I know a lot of people said that the Amaranthe version is way better. I humbly disagree. there were parts of that that stood out that I really liked, but then there were parts that just I wasn't feeling. But let's go check out this live version and see how they sound with Sabaton. So the performance we're seeing live is the stop in Oslo, Norway on Sabaton's great tour with Amaranthe and Apocalyptica. So here we go. Sabaton and Amaranthe, 80-second all the way. I'm curious to see if they're going to bring out the whole band or if it's just going to be the vocalists. We'll find out shortly.
All right. Mina vänner, välkomna Nils, Henke och Elise från Amaranthe!
So just the vocalists.
Ja, ska vi spela lite hårdrock då?
Makes sense. We'll talk about it in a bit.
80-second all the way!
So, what I was saying about the vocalist thing, I've been on many tours where it's very common on big package tours for the headliners to bring the openers out for a song. But logistically, it makes way more sense to just bring vocalists out instead of somebody else with another instrument. Because with these audio packages, you only have a certain amount of channels going on that you can plug stuff into. And then they got to start dealing with, if they brought a guitar out, they'd have to start dealing with another wireless frequency, another channel, another ear mix, all that. So most of the time, you'll just see the guest vocalists. And 3 guest vocalists all at once is more than you normally would see for a guest appearance. So all the monitor engineer has to do in this situation is get 3 guest monitor packs for all of them that they can plug their ears into, and then 3 microphones, and that's it. So it makes sense. I'm still processing, man. I'm really trying to give this a go. There's just something that I like more about Joachim's vocals more than theirs for this song. Well, let's keep going. I can't help it. I can't not headbang to that chorus. I can't. You know, you guys are probably really frustrated at the fact that I keep comparing the 2 bands, and I swear I'm not trying to. I think it's just because I heard Sabaton's version of this so recently that, like, that's all I can hear. But I am enjoying this. I think it's really cool, and I love these live performances where they bring guests out to do stuff with them. I also don't know if Amaranthe recorded their version before this, or maybe that's what spurred them doing it. looking at the date on this, I think Amaranthe already recorded their studio version before they did this. Also, one other thing I think I just noticed. I'm going to have to go back and look again. I think I just realized that, excuse me, Hannes Van Dahl is a lefty, but his kit is set up in ways to be right-handed. Very interesting. There are some drummers that are lefties that they swap a lot of stuff around. I really want to have a look at his kit and find that out now. Let's just finish off the rest of this song, man. I mean, unless there's something really to stop for, I don't think I will. Let's go.
It's 82nd all the way. Death from above, what they now say. What's on the door? I shake and take. Will I come from France to the USA? It's 82nd all the way. Death from above, what they now say. Into the fires of hell, the unknown, here to be. Enter the wall from over the sea. Intervene 1918, all the way from Tennessee. Into 120, hell, the unknown, here to be. Enter the wall from over the sea. Intervene 1918.
Oh, he didn't do it.
Into 123.
Dude, I fucking love this song. All right, let's go some more afterthoughts about more of the Amaranthe stuff with their cover of this in the outro. Let's go talk about it. Amaranthe's music is such an anomaly to me for my ear because there are times where I really like it, and then there are times where it's just whatever. Like, I don't hate it, but I don't really like it. And it's wild because normally I probably wouldn't want to check out more of their music, but I do. I'm so intrigued by their sound because it's like, I'm trying to think of what it is and I don't get it. Like, and I promise you, this is not one of those stereotypical elitist metalhead things where it's like they're not heavy enough. Because, dude, they've got some parts that are heavy and sound awesome. There's just something about the music that just isn't grabbing me yet. But I'm gonna keep checking them out because I feel like it will. I don't know when, but I feel like I'm gonna have a moment where I just really, really love this band. But as for that 82nd All the Way cover, Sabaton's is better to me, for sure. There were parts of Amaranthe song where it was awesome, but I think what threw me off was a lot of the vocals and the verses. Like, I just, for my ear, I wasn't really loving it. But the choruses were massive. Like, those choruses were great with all of them. Yeah, like I said, man, I'm gonna keep checking this band out. And I know there's probably a lot of people watching this right now that are like, this guy's a f***ing asshole because this band is awesome. And I get it, man. We all like different stuff, but I will keep checking them out because I promise you I'm gonna have that moment where I really like this band. Or I don't, we'll find out. But thank you guys for watching, and if this is your first time here, feel free to click subscribe because I release new material all the time, and if you turn your alerts on, YouTube might notify you when new stuff comes out. If you liked this video, I would greatly appreciate the like, as it does help out the channel, but if you disliked this video, which I'm sure people will, feel free to click dislike. Thank you for watching this time, but you are free to click dislike if you disliked it. I'm also on a ton of different social media. I even have a Discord server that I hang out on. I have a Twitch that I stream video games on, and I'll put all those links in the description below. My handle on everything social media is at TankTheTech. Thank you so much for watching. I will be back very soon with another episode of Roadie Reactions.